Good evening and happy Friday. You're logged on to the Fox 40 News Information app. It is 6:30. I'm Matt Johnson. We're going to monitor the news wires, the satellite feeds, and the web to see what stories you think are hot as we get ready for the weekend. We start off tonight with the local app. BP engineers have been able to install a cap over the gushing well in the Gulf of Mexico. The company says it'll still take a few days to reach peak efficiency, though. The Army National Guard is putting down barriers on the beach to try and hold the oil back at high tide. BP contractors are working to collect a growing number of gooey oil blobs. Computer models now show currents could spread the oil up the East Coast and beyond. In the meantime, kids are out of school. It's the ideal time parents plan those family vacations. Mississippi's Gulf Coast Tourism Director says state waters are oil-free. Well, still, folks are hesitating to hit the beaches. Fox 40 News reporter Dustin Barnes was on the coast and tonight tells us why Mississippi still wants you to visit.
Matt, this is a destination along the Mississippi Gulf Coast. These are charter boats. You pay someone to take you out on the water to fish. But the looming oil crisis is keeping these boats at bay. In Biloxi, you see people on the beach. Kids are playing. Life looks normal. Business owners, though, say the oil spill coverage is affecting business along the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Many potential visitors fear the oil has taken over the waters. That's not the case. Mike Moore owns one of these charter boats. He says the wrong image is taking a toll on his livelihood.
I got 3 water-related businesses, and every one of them is over 80% down right now.
Coming up on Fox 40 First at 9, efforts the touring industry is taking to stay afloat. In Biloxi, Dustin Barnes, Fox 40 News.
Okay, Dustin, and the Jackson Zoo is helping out oil-drenched animals on the Gulf Coast. The zoo's animal director is there right now. More workers are headed down next week. Fox 40 News reporter Haley Westbrook is just back from the Jackson Zoo. Haley, those pictures we've been seeing are pretty disturbing.
Yeah, Matt, they are, especially like the one behind me now. For a lot of people, they're very hard to look at. I spoke with the zoo's marketing director as well as a vet tech there. They tell me that when they look at these pictures, it's just heartbreaking to them. This pelican you're looking at was found near the Grand Isle, Louisiana. Its lifeless body lay covered in thick oil. Now, some animals are still alive, though, but covered in oil, too. The Jackson Zoo is helping out, though. They have extra cages in case they need to house animals or help with transporting them to safety. Folks are at the coast right now. More, like you said, Matt, are headed down there. Workers say for them, it's a living nightmare, but one that makes them want to help out even more.
For all of us here that work with animals and care about wildlife, it's just very heartbreaking and devastating. And seeing those pictures coming in now, it just makes us want to do more.
It's not just birds affected. Dolphins and sea turtles have been found too. Zoo workers say the turnaround time to get the animals cleaned up runs about a week, roughly about a week. Now, you can help clean up the animals if you want to, but you need to be trained. Training averages somewhere around a couple of weeks. Now, I have posted all the information that you need to know on our website, so log on to my601.com, click on this zoo story, and there you can click on a link that breaks down all of the details. Matt?
Okay, Haley, and you can also like us on Facebook. Just search Fox 40 News and post on our wall. Tonight we asked folks what they think of those disturbing images of oil-soaked animals. Let's get to those comments if we can, please. Roger says, I think the CEO of BP needs to be out there cleaning birds instead of apologizing on TV. Shannon says, I'm an animal lover of all animals. It breaks my heart. And Shelley Halpin says, I think he needs to take a swim in the Gulf and try to get the crap off himself. Folks, we posted everything you need to know about the oil spill on our website. Just go to my601.com under local news. There you'll find BP and the state's efforts and some useful links too. Time to check the weather right now with Storm Track 40 Chief Meteorologist Mike McGowan. Mike, our Storm Track 40 live radar, a few spotty showers right now, but nothing really to write home about.
Yeah, you know, that's kind of the way we like it here on Friday, Matt. No rain here in Jackson Metro. Kind of cool out there. Actually, I just looked outside. The sun was out moments ago. So not a bad evening on tap. Very sultry out there. But temperatures begin to heat up in the forecast. We'll talk about just how high the thermometer rises coming up next.
Okay, thank you, Mike. And we're going to relaunch the local app now with a couple other stories going on here in the 601. A former Yazoo Prep School dean is free after posting a $200,000 bond at the county jail. Richard Darden is charged with sexual exploitation of a child and voyeurism. 3 Manchester Academy teens caught Darden watching them shower at his home. Fox 40 News reporter Jessica Larche spent the day trying to track down Darden's whereabouts.
Well, that's right, Matt. Yazoo County Sheriff Thomas Vaughn tells me that Richard Darden did use a bail bondsman to post his $200,000 bond at the Yazoo County Jail. Now, behind me is Richard Darden's home here on Grand Avenue in Yazoo City. I knocked on the door to see if anyone was there. No one answered. I even talked to some neighbors around who didn't want to go on camera but say they have not seen Darden since he posted that bond. I also contacted Darden's attorney, Cynthia Stewart, and she would not give any comment on whether Darden is going to be seeking treatment at another rehab facility or if he is somewhere else. Now, Matt, according to this order filed by Judge Jamie Lewis, the treatment facility where Darden was seeking treatment, Pine Grove in Hattiesburg, which is known for treating sex addictions, they actually said that Darden's illness was too severe for them to treat. Now, today I tracked down Yazoo County Sheriff Thomas Vaughn to ask him if he knew where Darden was, and he said he doesn't, and it's no longer his concern. Are there any plans to question him?
No, I mean, his attorneys are not going to let that happen. I wouldn't expect him to say anything to incriminate himself.
And now, as far as the investigation, the Yazoo County Sheriff's Department will present those findings to a grand jury, but that won't be until September. For now, reporting in Yazoo City, Jessica Larche, Fox 40 News. Matt.
We've posted the latest Darden order Jessica is telling us about on our website right now at my601.com. A downtown Jackson nightclub may be getting ready to make its return from the nest. Birdland was closed when the city filed to have it closed unless safety conditions were met. Well, the club was the scene of a deadly shooting on Ferris Street, you might remember. Birdland has met all of its requirements now, and once the club gets a few more permits, it'll be given the green light to open again. The Washington Street Bridge at Clark Street in Vicksburg is closed. Officials are questioning how sturdy it is. Signs of weakening came up during the last inspection. The bridge will be closed until officials can evaluate the structure's stability again. Vicksburg Mayor Paul Winfield hopes it'll help give tourism and the economy there a new foundation.
This is one of the most pressing issues that we have here in our community. Many in our business community have been suffering. A lot of our residents have been hurting.
Vicksburg city officials have signed contracts to start work on the bridge. They expect that work to start in the next 10 days. Traffic in the area will be detoured until further notice. It is time now for tonight's hometown headlines. We look at a local soldier's sacrifice and his town's tribute. Fox 40 News assignment editor Nicole Cyprian has been searching the web, and now she links us to the latest.
Hey, Matt. Well, for Hometown Headlines tonight, we start right here in the Jackson Metro with the death of a Brandon soldier last month, and now his native city plans to keep his memory alive. Now, this is a picture of 19-year-old Lance Corporal Philip Clark, who was killed last month by a mine in Afghanistan. Now, the Rankin County Ledger is reporting that to remember Clark's service and his legacy, the American Legion of Brandon is working to engrave Clark's name on a Rankin County Memorial Monument in downtown Brandon. Now, Clark, who was a 3-time Purple Heart recipient, lived here in the Metro for years before moving to Gainesville, Florida, but still has a lot of family here in the area. Now, officials hope to have his name added within the next few weeks. And this next headline is for students everywhere, and it just proves that you're never too young to make some really big moves. Now, the Macomb Enterprise Journal is reporting that the city of Macomb could undergo some major downtown development upgrades, and it's all thanks to these 2 LSU students. Now, the third-year architect students unveiled their research plan this week to city officials, which includes a brand new convention center, upscale apartments, retail space, parks with bike paths, and even a recycling center. Now, officials say they are now in the process of trying to find grants to make some of these improvements happen. Way to go, guys.
All right, you can check all those on my601.com as always. In the meantime, up next, right after the social check, we check in with Travis Raycheck in the sports app. Southern Miss kicks off its postseason baseball run. First, here's a look at what's coming up tonight on Fox. It's Past Life at 7, House at 8, and then Fox 41st at 9.
So I'm looking for grace that I used to find.